Hey Bell Tribe, welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Roshunda here, and welcome if you are new. And if you are new and you enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. If you would, thank you. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be making some chicken adobo, and that is a Filipino dish. I had this dish some years back. I worked with a lady who was Filipino, and she made this for me and brought it to work, and it was so good. I learned to make it myself. It's a pretty simple recipe. These are all the ingredients right here. I have 4 bay leaves. I have 6 cloves of chopped garlic right there. I have 1/3 of a cup of vinegar, 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. I have 1 whole onion chopped, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I have about 1.5 tablespoons of peppercorns, and I have 1.5 cups of water. I have my marinade bowl right here, and I have some chicken legs that are nice and clean and ready to go right there. So if you want to watch this video, go ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so the first step is to make the marinade. I'm going to go ahead and put in the apple cider vinegar. This recipe actually calls for just white distilled vinegar, but all I have is apple cider, so that's what I'm going to use. I think it will turn out the same and taste just as great. I'm going to put in the 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. You can use light or low sodium if you choose. I'm going to throw in the bay leaves. I have 5. These are small, so I'm going to go ahead and use 5. I'm going to throw in half of this garlic. We don't need it all. We just need half of it. Okay. And I'm also going to throw in some of these peppercorns as well. Okay, now it's time to put our chicken in the marinade. Here is the marinade right here. Just gonna give that a little mix. I'm gonna throw a little bit of, what should I throw in there? I don't wanna make it too salty, but you know what? I'm gonna season the chicken after I take it out of the marinade. I guess it just depends on how long I leave it in this marinade. But here we go. Let's place the chicken in there. I'm going to let it marinate for as long as I possibly can. It says you can let it marinate overnight, but I'm a little late cooking, so we're just going to let this marinate for about an hour. Make sure they're all coated really good in this marinade, and then I'm going to cover it and let it sit. And in the next clip, we're going to be frying this chicken, getting it browned, and we're going to be on our way with this delicious Filipino dish called chicken adobo. Stay tuned. So what I'm doing here is adding a little bit more soy sauce because I have double the amount of chicken that the recipe calls for. And I also will add a little bit more apple cider vinegar just so I can make sure that each piece of the chicken is marinated very well. So there's that. And just a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I don't want it to be too vinegary. Just a little. Okay. Yeah, and that's only because I have double the amount of chicken that the recipe calls for. So there it is. It's all ready to go. They're coated pretty well. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it with my lid and let it sit for about an hour. Stay tuned. Okay, so we are back, and the chicken has been marinating for about an hour. I'm just going to turn it here a little bit just to get a little bit more of that marinade on the chicken. So this is what it looks like. It has changed color slightly, but now we're going to fry this chicken up in the pan. All right, let me just move this aside, turn on that, bring that back, and let's fry this chicken, or pan fry this chicken. We need about 2 tablespoons of oil. That's all you need. Make sure we get that pan hot enough so you get that nice sear on your chicken. So when the pan is hot, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. I think the pan is pretty hot, so let's start adding the chicken. We're just going to let that brown on each side. I'll do about 3 minutes on each side, something like that, 3 to 5 minutes. You're not going to cook the chicken all the way through. All we're doing is browning, releasing some of those flavors. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Johnny's seasoning salt to the chicken. Just a little bit, because we use soy sauce, and soy sauce is pretty salty. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and I think it's okay if we go ahead and flip the chicken now. And let it brown on the other side. We're kind of getting a little bit of a caramelization there. So, okay, so we're going to let it go for a few more minutes on this side, and then we're going to take the chicken out. Okay, now that the chicken has browned on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the pan. Turn the heat down. I'm going to take some of these little dark bits out too, because I don't want to burn. Have it taste like burnt garlic, even though burnt garlic is good sometimes. Okay, so now that the chicken is out of the bowl, let me show you what it looks like. Out of the bowl, nice and hot. I mean, out of the pan, in the bowl, nice and hot. Okay, so now Okay, now that we have the chicken out, it is nicely browned on both sides. We're going to go ahead and add our onion in there. The rest of our garlic. The rest of our peppercorns. The 1.5 cups of water. The 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And the rest of the marinade. Don't worry about it being contaminated with chicken because we're cooking it. We're going to cook it and make sure we cook it well. Now at this point, we're just going to bring this up to a nice little simmer. Okay, so now that we have a nice little simmer going with our sauce, our adobo sauce, I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken back in. And we're going to let this simmer until the chicken is nice and cooked through and almost falling off the bone. Get all those juices back up in there. It looks and smells so good already. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let this simmer maybe for about a half hour, just so I can make sure that the chicken is cooked through down to the bone and that it is really tender and almost falling off the bone. Stay tuned. Okay, so the chicken adobo is finally done. Let me show y'all what it's looking like. The chicken is definitely tender. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. The chicken is definitely tender. The juices have cooked down a lot. And it looks and smells so good. Yeah, it's all done. Now it's time to plate. Okay, so we have our nice, cute little bowl of rice here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up some of this chicken and place it on top of the rice. Just like that. Then I'm gonna put some of these juices on top. My kids are so loud, y'all. They just won't let me do a nice little video without them being so loud. This out of the way. And there it is, a nice little bowl of chicken adobo. Mmm. Okay, now I'm gonna taste it. Let's move this out of my way and let's taste test this chicken adobo. Okay, here is my bowl of chicken adobo. I'm gonna add a little bit more sauce on top, just like that. And I'm gonna give y'all a quick little taste test again because my camera wasn't rolling the first time. But here it is, nice and tender. What type of rice do you guys prefer to eat? Just regular long grain rice, or do you like the Asian style rice? I prefer the Asian style rice with my rice in the rice cooker. Oh gosh, can I get some rice on there, please? But there is the first bite, nice and hot. That's really good with simple ingredients. If you haven't tried making this before, please try this recipe. It is absolutely delicious. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like. And always feel the vibe, subscribe, and join the Bell Tribe. Until next time, peace.